Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. Lost Latvian here. And in today's video, I'm gonna try to show you something pretty cool for me, at least, and I really hope that some of you will also find it interesting. So, for the old timers who have subscribed to my channel, uh, they already know who I am. But for those of you who uh, see this video for the first time, and me in general, and I'm more talking maybe about people from Australia, because I kind of feel like some of you may come from there who are gonna watch this video because of the title. Uh, I am a guy who lives in the United States, but originally I come from Europe. I lived in Latvia, a small country by the Baltic Sea. I lived there till I was 33 years old, and then I got married uh, and moved to United States. And currently I reside in Colorado, state of Colorado. So about 3, 4 years ago, it was COVID times when browsing through TV, schedules or whatnot channels, I stumbled on a game which is called Australian football, in short AFL, Australian Football League. And while initially the game to me seemed like there are a bunch of guys who got released from the mental institution and they're all running around and trying to catch the football, or whatnot. I mean, it just kind of sucked me in, and I did a little research and I found out that here in the United States, the Fox 1 and Fox 2 networks are actually broadcasting their games during our Northern Hemisphere summer month, And and that's the history pretty much. I started my first year, I was catching games here and there, and but my interest grew, and I am also, and then there's the next thing. That's about the footy, how I watched it or whatnot, and which raised my interest about the sport. In the meantime, I'm a fitted hat collector, and I was like looking around Aussie stores and everything like that to try to find fitted hats from that league. I also started exploring my options about buying the jerseys and stuff, and there was no clarity about it where I could get the hats and if they would even ship to United States. And same applied to jerseys. With the jerseys, I figured out pretty quickly that they will ship to United States from one particular store. But my very first thing was fitted hats, and they did not even have any fitted hats until I stumbled on this one store. I can't remember the name of it, Cap Z, I believe, or something like that. And there was a very helpful gentleman who guided me in the right direction. And I also bought 4 golfer-style hats from that store. And when I received them, you wouldn't believe how happy I was. And then later on came the fitted hats. And then one day I was on Instagram account, and there was a gentleman by name Lee who was showcasing one of his hats. And I looked at his profile, and pictures he has posted, and he had so many cool looking hats, and a lot of them were AFL hats. So I just casually typed the message, and I was like, man, I wish I could get my hands on one of these hats. And that particular hat was a Brisbane Lions hat. And to my big surprise, he replied to me and he said, I can help you out. And long story short, now, 2, 3 years later, we're good friends, and I consider Lee one of my best friends ever. And we talk a lot of footy and about the hats, and we help each other out. And now I can tell you that I have every single fitted hat from every single AFL team. Also, same applies to NRL. And from that point on, I also started collecting jerseys and get into the game for real this time, and now I do not rely on Fox Sports 1, Fox Sport 2, but I subscribe to AFL Footy directly from Australia. There's an app you can download, and so yeah, you just pay subscription and you watch every game, every show they show in Australia. So I'm deeply, deeply sucked into the sport to a point where this year I actually ordered the jersey which I'm wearing right now, and this is the St. Kilda Saints jersey, which was actually created for the Spuds game, which basically is a gentleman's name. Uh, and in honor of him, St. Kilda created this jersey. And if you donated a certain amount of money, you were able to get this jersey, and your name is printed on it. And my name is printed on the back side of the jersey, and one day I'll show you where it's at. But yeah, so I got this special jersey, And why St. Kilda? St. Kilda is my favorite team, and for whatever odd reason, like how do you pick a team when you're so new to the sport? Uh, I call myself a newbie, like only 3-4 years in, and this is only my second serious season. I'm watching pretty much every single game, but what attracted me from St. Kilda was a game, my very first game I watched from the start to the end, and they whooped somebody's ass pretty badly, and I was like, yeah, this might be a good team to follow, and the rest again is a history. But Lee has taught me so much about the sport that uh, I can't even, explain it to you how far I have gone. From a guy who was hunting down a single hat and a single jersey, now I own more than 54 jerseys. A lot of them are St. Kilda jerseys, but I have every single team's jersey, and some of them are two, three, or four different kinds from the same team. And two are incoming. And same applies to the NRL, but this video is going to be about AFL. So yeah, long story short, I'm madly in love with this game. I can't wait for a next round, and I'm kind of almost sad that the season is almost halfway in. It's silly, but this is how much I love the sport. So, if any of the you Aussies are watching this video, I would like to connect to some of you, and maybe you could invite me to your fantasy leagues for the next season or something like that. I really want to build that connection with people in Australia and who also enjoy footy game, because I'm like a lone wolf here in the United States. I don't know anybody who loves the sport, who is watching the sport. I've heard, one of my friends, he used to live in Sydney, so one day I ran into him while I was wearing, I believe I was wearing the North Melbourne Kangaroos jersey, and he was like, "Oh, are you wearing the Roos jersey?" And I was like, "Yeah, how do you know about the sport?" And he's like, "I was living in Sydney and I kind of follow the Sydney Swans." And then another time I was walking around the lake and there was a gentleman who was like saying, "Oh, you're watching the AFL?" And I was like, "How do you know about AFL?" And he's like, "Because I saw your jersey, and not many people are wearing it around here." And he said, "My son used to work in Sydney again." And so he was also with Sydney Swans. I wouldn't say a fan, but he watches the games here and there. So yeah, I mean, I am a lone wolf pretty much, and I absolutely enjoy times when Lee's watching the game and we text each other through the Instagram, and kind of discussing the game. And then after the round is done, we talk about the footy. And yeah, it's a great thing. So, but today I want to make a video about 2025 Indigenous round jerseys, and I will rank them from the awesome jerseys to not so good jerseys, And I just wanted to show you how diverse the sport is there, how many different kinds of jerseys they uh, uh, wear during the season, and I'll refer to these Guernseys, what they call there, or jumpers, as a jerseys because it's a little bit easier on me, and my viewers in the United States will understand it a little bit better maybe. But yeah, so there are 24 rounds a season, and there are some special rounds, and one of them, actually, those are two rounds this year. Round 10 and round 11, which just completed, were indigenous rounds where where AFL is basically honoring the indigenous people, the First Nation people. And in order to do that, they create these jerseys, and actually some player families participating in designing those jerseys. So there's lots of different kinds, different type of indigenous ornament on the jerseys, symbols and stuff like that. So it's very cool. It's my favorite round. That's where the AFL jerseys really shine. Then before that was Anzac round, which is basically kind of like a Memorial Day here, where people from Oceania or Australia and New Zealand, they are commemorating those who perished during the World War One and World War Two. That's kind of a tongue twister for me. And they also create special jerseys for that round. Not every team does that, but majority. Indigenous round, however, is done by every single team. And yeah, let's just look at these indigenous jerseys, and I'll rank them, and then later on in the comments you can tell which one was your favorite jersey. And so let me just turn around and open up my MacBook and start recording this screen. And here we go. Let's go. And let me just open it up. I got some memory things going on with my computer, but yeah, let's start at this damn thing is gonna bug the shit out of me. But let's start looking at. We're gonna go to every single store, and then we're gonna rank them. And so the order I'm gonna be showing to is the current standings, actually, after the round 11. And first place team currently is Collingwood Magpies. Very strong team, good team, and it happens that one of their forwards, Bobby Hill, is wearing this year's Indigenous jersey. So Collingwood Magpies. So $120, that's Australian dollars. Every single team will ship to United States. So it will cost you anywhere between 30 to 50 Australian dollars. So it's not that bad. I believe one Australian dollar is about 60 cents, 60 American cents. So, but it varies, you know, depending on on a day, so to speak. So, yeah, let's just click on this one, and there it is. So it's a Collingwood Magpies. You know, like their official jersey looks just like this, but without all these bird, what do you call it, the claw prints or whatever, footprints, and all this other stuff around it. You know, what do I think about this one? It's pretty clean. You know, Collingwood is one of those teams which is not very adventurous when it comes down to jerseys and like how many special jerseys they create or whatnot. However, the material, the jersey is made by Nike, and that material is absolutely top notch, top class. So you can see sizes available. They are true to size, true to United States size. I'm size L, which is like a little tighter. It fits like tight on me, and that's the way they wear it. But I prefer now to go with XL, which leaves a little bit more room. It's a little more comfortable if you're just wearing it running around. You know, like I wear my jerseys like all summer long, you know. I just like to rock them, you know, and yeah, it's sometimes it's a conversation opener, you know, people asking what it is, and I'm more than happy to explain them what it is. So this is the front part, yeah, and then I was thinking, oh, right here, here's the back side of it. It's not a bad jersey, not a bad jersey at all. So I kind of like it. So that's a Collingwood Magpies. So the next store, this is Brisbane Lions. These are current premiers, current champions. They won last year the game against the Swans, you know, and yeah, they're champions. And I'll show you the bobblehead. This is Charlie Cameron, and he's holding that cup. You can see it. It's kind of cool. One of my favorite players. I am a fan of Lions as well. So, but this is their Indigenous jersey, 130 Australian. So it's a little 10 bucks more. And so here's the jersey. Here's the front. And here's the back. I do like the back side of it. It's kind of cool. A lot of the jerseys have the car sponsorships, you know, and that's how it's done in Australia. And here's the front. Very, very colorful. Um, that's McDonald's sponsoring them as well. Um, I don't know. This is a little too much for me, to be honest. Not a huge fan of this particular jersey. But yeah, this is again Lions, Brisbane Lions. Currently, they're sitting in the second place. The next one is Gold Coast Suns. It's a new team, newish team. Lee told me that they do not have a lot of following, you know, and so that jersey costs $120, $120 Australian dollars. You know, they're selling out the jersey, so I would buy XL for sure, but I'm not that big of a fan of this design and the club for that matter. But as a collectible, sure, you know, and maybe they don't even have that big of a run either, you That's why they're selling out that quickly. And the back side of it looks this way, and they have some player names on the back of it too. They're all Indigenous players and their names. I like the back part of it right here, down here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool jumper, Guernsey. So they're currently, it's a breakout team. They're doing really well this season. Last season, they did not make to the finals. This year, I'm pretty sure they're gonna make it. And it would be a great accomplishment for Gold Coast Suns to make to the finals. And what by finals they mean playoff spot, first place to eighth place makes to the finals, final rounds. Then the next one, Adelaide Crows. They actually have two different kinds. Let me just see if I can pull up. So they have this dark jersey, home jersey, and then away jersey. Let's look at the away one first. No, so it's mainly red, and then they have this crow, big huge crow on it. Yeah, and here's the back side of it, Hungry Jack's. It's like our Burger King. I think this jersey is absolutely awesome. And look, it's all sold out except those huge sizes. And then they also have, this blue one. I don't know why people like the red one so much. I actually got this one. It's coming. It should be here tomorrow, actually. But yeah, I prefer this blue one better. In this last round they played, and they were wearing this one, and it looked so much better than the red one from the week before. And here's the back side of it. Yeah, so tell me if you like this one. I think this is absolutely beautiful, beautiful jersey. Adelaide Crows. Next one, and for whatever reason, they decided to hang the jersey on a tree. These are Geelong Cats. Geelong Cats. So it's a weird selection to hang for the promotion, for advertisement, the jersey on a tree, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, it has like this red eel on it, and then you have like a crocodile, alligator, whatever the hell that is. Some fishes. There's like a stingray. Again, Geelong Cats, they are not very adventurous with their jerseys, so this is a welcome sight, and I may just end up picking this one up for myself, because usually it's a blue and white stripes and their little logo right here. Their sponsorship is Ford automakers. It's a little expensive, $140. So yeah, each store in Australia price their jerseys in a different way. Some are cheaper, some are way more expensive than the others, and shipping is different for each store. So it's a little crazy. But yeah, Geelong Cats was this guy. Next one up, Hawthorne Hawks, and I mean, this one is a masterpiece again. They have two different versions. I happen to like this yellowish one much better. Very, very cool looking jersey. I may get this one as well. So this is what the back side of it looks like. And usually there is a player number on it. Oh yeah, that's what the jersey looks. And let's see if I can show you. Here's the brown one. You know, also, so they had a away game and away jersey and home jersey. So do you like this dark one better? Let me know. I prefer the yellow one actually. I like this one better. So Hawthorne Hawks. Next door, Western Bulldogs. And for whatever reason, they decided to put these jerseys on some of their players. How about that? So you can see what they look like. To me, there's lots of shit going on this one, and I was watching the game again, and they did not look as good on TV screen, you know. So hard to tell, hard to tell. This is a hard choice, would be a hard choice for me. That's the back side of it. I'll tell that I like the back side better than the front. What do you guys think? Okay, so Western Bulldogs. And jerseys made by Asics. That's another thing. Each team has its own jersey maker, you know, like this. For example, the next one, this is a um, Great Western Sydney Giants. It really looks like, I call them a Gatorade boys, you know, because their logo looks like from the Gatorade bottle, the G, you know. This is actually pretty cool one. Uh, these guys also are not very adventurous with their jerseys, so seeing something like this is a nice touch, you know. And they're marked theirs at 139.99. So Great Western Sydney Giants, and this is the back side of it. So what do you think? Everything is available. If you want to get in a sport, you know, it's a good time to buy some cool jerseys. Next store up, and these are Fremantle Dockers from the West Australia. Another team which does not have a great variety of jerseys. And their current one I don't even like that much at all. So this is very cool jersey. And look, everything is sold out except for XL. That's crazy. Super nicely done jersey. This one is coming as well. And maybe it's going to be here tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow. But I picked this one up and I'm glad I did, because look, everything is sold out. This is what the back side looks like, and they have, look, these players standing and their names. Yeah, this is a really, really neat one. Absolutely love this one. And look, this is $120. Next one up, Essendon Bombers. My friend Lee, he hates this team. Look, now prices in United States dollars, so $85. So they played their game against Richmond Tigers this year, and that's why they have this Dreamtime whatever patch print on here. I'm not a huge fan of the jumpers where the stripe goes like diagonally. I don't know. I mean, it's different. Some soccer teams, especially in South America, does that, where they run the stripe across diagonally from the jerseys. It's not a bad jersey, but I probably would enjoy it better if this would be gone. I don't know, but that's me. On the back side of it, you can see it here. Also, everything is available. Moving on to the next team. Team is struggling, but lately they have won some games, and I actually predict that they may make to the finals this year, or despite starting the season 0-5 or with 0-5 record. So Demons, Melbourne Demons, kind of a shield up front here, and then some ornaments. Pretty cool. And then Big Hertz car rental sponsorship on the back, and again players, Indigenous player name, Stephen May, Keziah Pickett. Yep, those are their Indigenous player names on the back of it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool Demons jersey. Now, this one doesn't even tell. Oh no, $130 made by New Balance. So now let's go over, and this is a team I really kind of don't like it. Not my favorite team, and they're not very adventurous. Also making the jerseys, they're very classy. They stay with this main logo on it, but this year they did this kind of thing. So nothing too crazy, but they kept it pretty clean. And look at this, they are doing a special 59.16, so definitely the cheapest jersey. Everything is available. They're trying to move the inventory, I believe, so good way how to pick up maybe your first AFL jersey. So go to the Carlton shop and get their Indigenous jersey. It's not a bad one. It's a clean jersey. And here's the back side of it. Then the next store, Sydney Swans. This year, like the last year, they finished with the best record. This year, they're down at the bottom. If I look real quick, they are currently sitting at the 13th place. There are 18 teams in total. So, and I kind of think that they're not going to even make to the finals this year. But last year they had the best Indigenous jersey, in my opinion. This year it's also very cool. I like the red and white colors on it. This is a good one. This is to my liking. Very clean. And do you know what this means? And that's more to the United States kind of people who are watching. This is actually Sydney Opera House. For a long time, and I'm not the only one, thought that this was like kind of like a swan's tail or something like that, How silly. But this is actually depicting the Sydney Opera House. Now it all makes sense. So the back side of it, yeah, it's a very, very cool jersey. $120 Australian. Lots and lots of little details on this one. I like this one. This is very classy. What do you think? Let's move on to my team. And this is St. Kilda Saints. And I absolutely adore this jersey. And tell you what, St. Kilda, along with the Crows, uh, those are two teams what pop like in my head, which are very adventurous with their jerseys. They have many different kinds, and which they use throughout the season. So yeah, I'm lucky. I'm lucky that Saints is my favorite team, and yeah, look at that. Look how beautiful it all looks. Red, white, and black, and then this bird. Red, white, and black. That's their color. And this is a kangaroo. What do you call the paw prints, footprints? This bird, and then back side of it. Again, player names. There are some current players like Liam Henry and Bradley Hill. I can see Wanganin, Malera. Cool one. Tell you what, I got a surprise for you. Are you ready? I have received this jersey already, and I know it's gonna be kind of hard for me to show it, but here it is, and it's all beauty. 2025 Indigenous round jersey from St. Kilda Saints. Absolutely love this one. Beautifully done. And then it's made by New Balance, and here's the back side of it. So it absolutely looks great. So yeah, that's a little bonus for you. I am planning on showing my jerseys off one day when I figure out how I can actually show it. Right now my camera sits way too close. But yeah, that's the jersey I got. Super happy to have it in my collection. So highly suggest become St. Kilda's fan. All right. So let's. Oh man, why do they drop the jersey on the sand? Come on, guys. But let's move on to the next one. Like, what the F is going on with this one? This is made by Macron company in Europe. This is Port Adelaide Power jersey, and look, like, would you buy something like this? This is like made for. I have nothing against heavy set people, but when you advertise something, this is like a big fat blob, and I don't want to offend anybody who created this jersey. It is what it is, as far as the artwork goes, but it's not my favorite one. 130 Aussie dollars. That's another team which is not very adventurous in making jerseys, so maybe this is worth of picking up, but to me this is a hard pass. There's nothing, really nothing exciting about it. And so these weird pictures as well, This is kind of nice touch though. That's actually like down here on the back side of it. But I don't know. Let's move on. And now this one is Richmond Tigers, and I told you that they played the game against Essendon. Essendon ended up winning that game. $85. Everything is available. Yeah, I mean, it looks a lot like their training jerseys, which is absolutely another topic. They have that too for their practice games or whatnot, and yeah, you can fall deeply in a rabbit hole with AFL jerseys, but it's a fun hobby, very fun hobby. So Richmond Tigers, made by Puma. Land. Oh, this is Lee's team. Lee is a North Melbourne's or Kangaroos fan, and while last year they had probably one of the best jumpers, this year not so much. Like personally, there's like a negative space here or whatnot, but it's just I don't even know. This some kind of like a tool, indigenous tool or something like that. I just don't know. I don't want to sound stupid, but I probably do. But it's not looking that great to me. This is the back side of it. Maybe in person, in hands, it looks different, but this one seems like too much is going on. I like this kangaroo here. Oh, let me see. Maybe I can show you the last year's. So this here is the last year's, and it's still available. Look, this one is freaking awesome. This is what was it last year. So this one I like much, much, much better than this year's. Look, bargain deal, $65, man. If you're lucky and you're willing to wait, it can pay off. But a lot of times they're selling out their stuff. So now this you can buy for $65. Yeah, but this year is this one. It is what it is. I mean, for a collector, for a ruse collector, it's an awesome addition. For somebody like me, I just pick my favorite ones because my wallet is not, super huge. I got to be careful what I'm buying between my hats and my jerseys, and then there's an NRL jerseys and stuff. But okay, so this is the ruse jersey. And then the last one, last team, and they are currently in the last place, West Coast Eagles. This is a pretty cool one. Size L, which kind of happens to be one of the most popular sizes. So if you are size L, whenever you can, you grab it because they sell out fast. I'm naturally size L, but I prefer XL because it fits a little better on me. I don't like that tight feeling around my freaking beer belly, so to speak. But yeah, look, this white eagle. Hey, it's a cool one. I bought the jersey from the last year. I have last year's Indigenous round jersey from West Coast Eagles. And then here's the back side of it. Okay, so now we have looked at 18 different Indigenous jerseys. And how do I get rid of this one? I'm just going to drop it down. And now let's go here, and there they are, all of them. And so I'm going to be flipping from here to here, you know, and I'm going to line them up. So from the awesome jerseys, good jerseys, need work jerseys, and the yikes. And let's start out with the yikes. It basically means that those jerseys, I can't stand it, you know. And look at all these, you know. What stands out is this one, Port Adelaide Power. I mean, I seriously, seriously, I do not like this jersey. You know, I do not like it at all. So I am placing this jersey here. It's gonna be my yikes jersey. Oh, like I don't know what to say. It's a bad jersey this year. So now let me actually get rid of this one. Next one, let's go. Let's just go in a row, and let's pick Collingwood Magpies. Now, what do I think? I think it's a for what it is. It's a good jersey. I can't tell anything bad, you know. I think it falls in a good category. It's clean, nothing crazy, you know. But that's just me. The next one is this one was Brisbane Lions. Brisbane Lions. Oops. Why did I do that? Let's see if now it works. So this Lions jersey, man, there's lots going on, man. You know, like they could definitely do better. Even last year, they had some weirdness going on, you know, and I can only say that they need to work on their designs, you know, in my opinion. Not my favorite, so that's why I'm going to put it in under the section need some work. So that's where the lines go. So the next one is Gold Coast Suns. And it's got to go also in a category that it needs some work. Not a big fan of that jersey at all. You know, it's better than this year's their regular jersey. They definitely need to make a better jerseys. You know, I have from a couple of years back their Indigenous jersey, and it's awesome. That jersey was awesome. This one, not so much. You know, it's not ugly, but it definitely needs some work. You know, before next year. Hopefully, they can come up with a better, design. Let me see. Why is this? Okay. Next one, Adelaide Crows. Adelaide Crows, what do you think? I think that this jersey is absolutely freaking awesome. Absolutely love it. Maybe it would have been better if this crow, his body would come down to somewhere here, make it a one big one. But for what it is and how it's made, I think it's one of the best Indigenous jerseys of 2025. That is my opinion. Love it. Next one up is Geelong Cats. Man, what do I think about this jersey? It's interesting, knowing that it's a Cats jersey, just like the Magpies. They're not that adventurous with their designs or whatnot. I think this is actually pretty darn cool for that red eel and whatnot, and this alligator or whatnot. So I think it's a good jumper. The next one coming up, Hawthorne Hawks. And I think that this jersey, this jumper, absolutely deserves to be in the awesome section. I do not have it. I'm thinking of acquiring it. So with a little bit of luck, I'll have it. So yeah, that's in a category of awesome for sure. So the next one coming up, and this is Western Bulldogs one. And what do I think about this one? I think this jersey needs some work. It's too much going on here, and for me, I don't like it that much. There's lots and lots of stuff going on. Not my cup of tea. Then next one is Great Western Sydney Giants. And I think that this jersey is a good one. Again, one of those teams which does not have like a lot of variety. And when these special rounds come around, sometimes they come up with a pretty darn good design. So that's why GWS Giants gonna go into the good section. Next one, Fremantle Dockers. Fremantle Dockers. And I think that this jersey is absolutely awesome one. And I will have it here in a day or so. Excuse me. So absolutely love this design. Next one up. What's going on here? Next one up is Essendon Bombers. And this one, this one needs some work. Definitely needs some work. Not a big fan of it. I like the black and red, you know, but then, like I was saying earlier, this Dreamtime thing, if it wouldn't be there, I understand why it's there, but in the meantime, you know, it kind of throws me off. And but yeah, it needs some work, you know. Maybe next year they can come up with something more interesting. Next one up, Melbourne Demons. I don't know, I like that team name, Demons. But, oops, didn't mean to do that. Not the fastest one. Flipping. What am I doing, man? Copy. No way, what am I doing? Come on. Copy. Will I get it right this time? Yeah. So this Demons one, I think it's pretty cool. And that's why I'm gonna give this jersey the good vibes, good status, good jumper status. Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to Carlton Blues. And what do I think? I think it's a good jersey overall, you know. It's clean one. There's nothing crazy going on, you know. I can buy into it. Would I get it? No. But I probably should, because Carlton, again, is not very adventurous with their jerseys. Then next one. What am I doing? Next one is Sydney Swans. And that is another good jersey. Almost into the awesome jersey list. Maybe we will switch it around a little later on. But for now, let's do this. The next one, we're down to the last four, is this St. Kilda Saints one, and I freaking love this one. And not because I'm biased, but I really think that this might be the best one. It goes into the awesome section. I'll fine tune it when I get all in here. So now Richmond Tigers. And just like Bombers, I mean, these two, they need some work. They are kind of like, both of them almost look like a training jerseys, to me. That's just what they look to me. Definitely need some work. And then now we are Melbourne, North Melbourne Kangaroos. And it also gonna go to the section where they need some work done on them. Last year's was much better. And then the very last one is gonna be this West Coast Eagles one. And I think that this jumper is a good jumper. So it's gonna go into the good section. So we're definitely done with actually I'm not gonna do that. We're done with ranking them, putting them in the places, where they need to be. And now let me just shuffle them around the way I think they all should rank up in order, man, I think it needs to be like this. The jumper I like the best is the St. Kilda's, and not because I'm biased. It just happens to be that way. Second place, Adelaide Crows. The third place, Hawthorn Hawks. And then this is a toss-up, man. I like this one very much. It's between this and that, like for the third place, so to speak. But yeah, those top four definitely my favorite ones. As far as what's going on down here, I think I like this way. I like the Swans the best. Then, tell you what, I mean, this Carlton, man, it's so clean. Something like this, maybe. I like the Melbourne one as well. Like this. That would be my order right here. Then need to work ones. This is a hard one. They're all kind of like, I don't know. Maybe, you know what, maybe this ruse one, actually, you know, I can move it up. Let's go like this. Ruse, Bulldogs, Suns, then Richmond, then Lions, and Essendon. And yeah, this monster is the last place. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. You know, how would you rank? What would your rankings be? And let me know if you like these type of videos. I'm planning to do something like that. Maybe showing my favorite teams, rank the teams uh, in a way I like them, you know, from 1 to 18, which is my favorite team and which is my least favorite team. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this type of video, and don't forget, if you are the Aussie, I would appreciate you to get a hold of me, you know, and send me a message either on my Instagram account. It's TheLostLatvian. I'll put it somewhere here too. Yeah, subscribe to it, you know, follow me. And trust me, I'm not going to overwhelm you or know nothing. I'm just trying to find some friends, you know, who also like Australian football, you know, and where else to go if not to the source, to Australia. Thank you, Lee, for helping me understand the sport, you know, for helping me out, getting my hats and all that, and really kind of, you know, when you go to the fishing, you know, and you get the bite, you know, you just do like this, you know, to hook it even better. And you've done that for sure. So totally appreciate our friendship. And for all others, you know, I hope you all guys have a great day, have a great health, and I'll see you on the next one. Lost Latvia now. Bye.